Hi my angels, and welcome back to my channel. So today we have a full face video, and today is going to be a full face of NYX. Now NYX is a brand that I funnily enough kind of grew up with, and that is because I used to live in America for a couple of years, and this was back in the day when it was only available there and it wasn't here in the UK. So I remember always using their eye pencils and some of their lip products, and now they have like a full-on range of like everything. All the makeup is laid out in front of me and I'm so excited to paint my face. I feel like I have a lot of NYX products that I love and I use, but there are also some new products in here and products that I generally don't really reach for. So it'll be really interesting to see what I think of them, but all in all, I think everyone is a massive fan of NYX. I feel like they always bring out consistently really good products. So I'm gonna get straight onto this video. I'm gonna start off with eyes, and I have already filled in my brows and prepped my eyelids. I used the NYX eyeshadow base for that. I have had this for ages in my little eyeshadow base pot, and I've never reached for this because I just opened it up today. Personally for me, I like setting my eyelids with something a little bit brighter, usually something like a concealer or kind of like a brightening eyeshadow base, whereas this one is almost very similar to my skin tone, but more on like the orange end of things. I have also set the eyeshadow primer in place as well, so now we can get straight on to the eyeshadows. If you guys have been watching my videos for a while, you'll know that I love the Swear By It palette. This is like such a really good like travel palette for me because it has every single shade I could possibly imagine that I'd want to wear. It's got like brights in there, it's got neutrals in there, it's got warms, it's got cools, it's got pretty much everything. But I saw that they have two other palettes quite similar to this. So this one's called the Modern Dreamer, which has some really beautiful like bright shades, and then this one which is called the Such a Know-It-All. And in this palette they've got this beautiful khaki shade right here and this gorgeous mustard. So I thought I'll do something along like the mustardy vibes. I actually have a really cute little sunflower on my jumper today, and I don't know, that inspired me to put a bit of like yellow on my eyes. I don't think I've ever done that much yellow on my eyes before, so we're gonna try that out. So this palette also has some gorgeous cheek shades, so we'll get those onto our cheeks as well when we do our base. So I'm gonna start off by going straight in with this mustard shade right here. It's coming up quite yellow on the screen, but it's very much so like a mustard color. So I'm gonna get that and start building it up onto the crease of both of my eyes. This is such a beautiful shade to blend out. You don't really have to do much work for it to be blended, but you can totally build the colour up as well. There is a little bit of kickback when you put your brush into the pan, but I feel like that can happen quite a lot with matte shades. But overall, I feel like it's blended really beautifully and it's looking nice and mustard on the eyelids. I think I'm gonna go straight in with this khaki green shade. I love the shade khaki. It's probably one of my favourite colours that I love to wear for clothes. And I thought, why not get it onto my eyelids? So I'm gonna get this onto both of my eyelids and see how that's looking before we go and like deepen things up. So this shade is more of a shimmer shade and it's beautiful. It looks so nice on the eyes. It does have quite a creamy consistency, but it's not too creamy. Like for example, in some of the Huda palettes, she has some like shimmery shades which really don't pick up with a brush, whereas this picks up really well, and again it blends really nicely into the skin as well. There is a little bit of fallout on this. I had some like eyeshadow speckles on my jumper, and I've got the palette laying on my knee and there were a little specks of like eyeshadow on there. It looks alright in the pan. It hasn't like caused a massive dent or anything, but you can probably tell how creamy the shade is because you can see right here just the like impression is kind of left on the palette. The reason why I wanted to do my eyes first is because I want to make this super smoky, so we're going to start smoking that out. I'm going to take this matte brown shade right here in the palette and I'm going to start adding that into the crease and deepening it up and really smoking everything out. The deeper crease shade applied the same as the mustard shade, which I'm super happy with, very easy to blend out again. And I've just gone in and really deepened that up until I'm happy with the way that both of the eyes are looking. And then I have gone in with a little bit more of that mustard shade and the khaki shade on my eyes, just to make sure I'm happy with the level of colour going on. Once the rest of the face and the lashes and everything is on, I probably will go in and just kind of play around with the eyeshadow a little bit more and just kind of tweak it in place. But for now, I'm going to take a mixture of the dark brown and also the black, and I'm going to start smoking out my lower lash line. I know the eyes are looking really messy, but we're going to go and clean everything up. I see a load of people on Instagram doing their eyeshadow like this and like their makeup like this, where they start on the eyes and then they start to clean everything up once they do the base. So I thought, I'd give this a go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean up any kind of fallout that is underneath my eyes and also crisp up that edge of the outer part of my eyeshadow, and then we can start on the base. So I am going to go and like really sort out the eyeshadow once the base is done, but I do want to mention that I really like this palette. I like that you've got the blushes in here as well as these kind of really earthy tones, which I feel like you can wear pretty much anytime, which is really good because again, this is a really travel friendly eyeshadow palette. The Modern Dreamer palette is also really beautiful. I'm pretty sure all of these shades work very similarly to the other palettes that I have, especially the Swear By palette. I love, love, love this palette. I think out of all of these, my favorite would have to be the Swear By It, just because I've used it so many times and there are so many shades in here that I wear and have worn. So that's those palettes, but I do want to mention that NYX also do the Ultimate eyeshadow palettes, which are like a very small compact version of the bigger ones, but they kind of come in colour themes. So this one in particular is like, what's this one called? This is called the Ash palette. So it's got really like ashy cool tones in here. They do like a warm one, a warm neutrals one. They do like a really bright one. So that's really good as well if you're looking for something a little bit smaller, and the eyeshadows in that as well, they work beautifully. So now that that's all done, we're going to start prepping our skin. I'm going to take some of this Bear With Me Jelly Primer. I've never tried this before. Full on see-through inside. Like you can actually see the base on this. So let's get a little bit. Oh my god, this is literally like jelly. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna get this on to our skin. Oh nice, it doesn't feel too watery, which is good. It's almost like in between a gel and a cream. Oh, that's really nice, you know. And it's given my skin like a nice amount of hydration and glow. I'm gonna let that sit on my skin for a little bit while we talk base. So I've actually got two different types of bases here. So these are the Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. This shade, the one in Buff, is like halfway finished. I wore this during my wedding and I absolutely love it. I think that it's a really good full coverage drugstore foundation. It's probably my favorite full coverage drugstore foundation. And then I've also got the Born to Glow foundation. This again is in the shade Buff. One thing I've got to mention about this foundation is every single time I've worn it, I've had compliments on my skin. Like people saying to me, like my sister-in-law was like, your skin looks amazing, like what have you got on it, because it looks so nice. And I was like, oh my god, it's just the Born to Glow foundation from NYX. And she was like, it looks high-end premium, like it looks really, really nice. So I wanted to show you guys this because if anyone is looking for any kind of foundation for like an everyday wear, which is pretty lightweight but still kind of buildable, it still packs a good amount of coverage in here, then this is definitely something to look at. I really, really, really like this, but because this makeup look is on the glam end, I thought I would go in with my Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. So I'm going to get the Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation onto my face. I'm going to leave my under eyes quite clear so that we can go in with some concealer and not have to double up any kind of coverage or any product in that area, and just blend everything out. I honestly love this foundation because it gives you such good coverage without it feeling too heavy on your skin, and it photographs so beautifully. So one pump is getting me a good amount of coverage on my skin. I can still kind of see my freckles through my cheeks, so I am going to go in with maybe like half a pump more and just build up the coverage in like the center part of my face. I personally find this foundation super easy to really like build up the coverage, and I also think that this foundation really doesn't need setting because it sets quite matte but very skin-like matte, and for that reason I'm not going to set my base for this video either. And this is what it's looking like with the second layer on top in the center of my face. When I'm looking at this foundation up close and personal, you can tell that I've got foundation on because obviously whenever you wear makeup you're obviously going to be able to see makeup on, but it doesn't look heavy on the skin. It hasn't like enlarged my pores, and it's not settling into any fine lines, which I love about this foundation. Before we do any kind of concealer, I am going to cream contour my face. I think I'm going to use this shade from the NYX Cream Contour and Highlight palette. Super easy to blend out. I wish you could get just like a really big pot of the contour shades because I don't really use any of the top row. I just use a couple of the shades in the bottom row. So if you prefer using just a cream contour and a concealer to brighten and highlight, I wouldn't recommend this palette. However, if you want to kind of like dabble into cream contouring and kind of see how you feel and kind of practice, then this is really good to start off with. But I'm just going to get that onto the usual areas that I like to contour and blend everything out as well. The foundation has dried quite matte and quite well, so blending the cream contour on top wasn't like the easiest in that sense. Like I could feel it tugging on my skin. but overall I do feel like it's blended out really nicely. And now we're going to move on to the concealing and highlighting. So for that I'm going to use the Can't Stop Won't Stop. Ooh! I honestly feel like I drop something in every single video, but I'm going to use the Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. This is in the shade True Beige, and I'm going to get this onto the usual areas of my face and then blend everything out. The concealer I feel like dries pretty fast. It is quite full coverage as well. I wish I hadn't have put too much on, but it's actually blended into the skin really well. It doesn't look too heavy, but I can't remember the last time I used this concealer, so I don't know what it's going to look like once everything is set. But right now, although I put a bit too much on, it doesn't actually look too heavy on the skin. And I've also managed to really clean up underneath the eyes and make it look a lot neater than it was looking before. Now we're going to go ahead and start setting everything in place. And for that, I'm going to use the NYX Contour Palette. So I'm going to take this yellow shade right here and start setting just the areas that I applied that Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. This is what my skin is looking like once everything has been set, and it does look a little bit heavier, but again with this palette I feel like the shades that I use the most is the yellow one and maybe a couple of the contour shades. And I wish you could also get these individually because I feel like that'd be so much better usage, because I don't actually dip into all of the colors in that palette. But I feel like everyone on the internet, even off the internet, love that contour palette. So that I've used, and now we're going to move on to bronzer and blush and highlight. So seeing as we use the Such a Know It All palette on the eyes, I'm going to use a mixture of these shades on the cheeks. For bronzer, I think I'm just going to go in with this shade right here and get that onto all the areas that I cream contoured and blend everything out. Considering the base is quite matte, this powder actually blended out really well. Again, I don't think they do these powders as individuals, but I really like the tone of it. It kind of actually reminds me of Hoola from Benefit, and I love how creamy and easily it blended all away. Now I'm going to take this shade right here and get that onto my cheeks as blush. Wow, so that was super duper pigmented. So I'm just toning it down using the foundation end of my beauty blender. I don't know whether you guys remember, but back in the day I used to use the Sweet Cheeks palette from NYX all the time. Again, that was super pigmented as well, and I don't know whether they still do it anymore, but that is hands down my favorite drugstore blush palette. But I do know that they have like individual Sweet Cheeks, so I don't know whether they've got rid of the palette and just started selling them individually, but I do really love that palette, and if anyone can get their hands on it, I highly recommend. But yeah, I think you get like 8 kind of different blush shades in this palette, but it's really nice because it's really easy to travel with, and it's got a bunch of different colors that you can wear all throughout the year. So now that our blush is done, I'm going to move on to highlight, and I think I'm going to use this highlight right here. This is the Born to Glow highlight, and it's in the shade Chosen One. So I'm just going to take it on my ABH brush, and I'm just going to get this onto the top parts of my cheeks, and whoa, that is very pigmented. So a little goes a very long way. Taking the same highlight on like a small flat eyeshadow brush, I'm going to get that onto my brow bones as well as a bit of a highlight there. I've got to say that the highlight on my cheeks looks really different to the highlight in the palette. In the palette it looks quite gold, but on my cheeks it looks quite like cool toned. That's okay. It still doesn't look too bad on my cheeks. I'm just going to intensify the blush very slightly, if I can find my blush brush. Okay, time for mascara. I'm going to take the On The Rise mascara and I'm going to get that onto my top and lower lashes. I actually don't think I've ever worn this mascara before, and my god, can you see the lift and the curl and the volume on this? I am so impressed with this mascara. I've never really thought of NYX as like a mascara brand, if you know what I mean, but this has got me converted. I feel like I'm going to be using this mascara very often. It's made me not even want to put any false lashes on, but for this video I am going to show you a pair of lashes that NYX does do, but you can totally leave this eye look right here because this mascara has really done all that. And this is without even curling them. While the lashes are drying, I'm going to move on to lips. And for lips, I'm actually going to take the NYX Suede Lip Liner in the shade London. I actually love this particular shade in the Soft Matte Lip Cream. But for now, I'm just going to line my lips and very slightly fill them in with this. And then on top, I'm going to take a Soft Matte Lip Cream. These are my favourite type of NYX lip product. I actually also love their butter glosses. I think they are fabulous. But I'm going to take the shade Abu Dhabi and put that all over my lips. That's created a really soft peachy nude lip. And now my eyelashes are probably nice and dry, so I'm gonna get some lashes on. These are the WL20 lashes from NYX. I'm going to pop some glue on and get them onto my lashes, and I'll be right back. Okay, the lashes are all on, and I love how like they almost look like I've got like individuals or like lash extensions on. I really like these. But now it's time to kind of like deepen up the eyes where I feel like it needs a little bit more eyeshadow and just make everything look nice and polished. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the dark brown shade, which is this shade right here, and start deepening up any areas, and then going in with the mustard and the khaki just wherever I feel like it needs it. So I'm really happy with the way that the eyes are looking now, and it is time for finally to pop some of the dewy setting spray on, and then we're done. So you guys, this is the end of this full face of NYX makeup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I genuinely love using so many of the NYX products, and quite a few of the NYX products I actually used on my wedding day or like during the wedding celebrations. I actually used their glitter on the day of my reception in the shade 08. If I were to pick my top 3 NYX products from like the range of things that I tried today, it would definitely have to be their eyeshadow palettes, both big and small. Ooh. There we go. I think the mattes are beautiful. They're so easy to blend. The shimmers are just so creamy and so nice on the eyes. So definitely the eyeshadow palettes. The second one actually being the mascara. I really enjoyed using the mascara. I love the way it like curled and lifted and like thickened up all of my lashes. I really enjoyed that. The last one is like a bit of a tie between the base and the soft matte lip creams, but I'm actually going to say the soft matte lip cream just because I have been using these for years and I love how comfortable they are. I generally wear these on like special occasions just because I know they fit into my bag because they're nice and small, and they are also going to last me a long time, and I can kind of put these on with my eyes closed. And then the 3 products that I didn't enjoy as much, I'm actually going to say the highlight, and this is only because I like it. It's pretty intense, but it just doesn't look like this on my cheeks. It looks a lot more silvery on my cheeks, but the color itself is actually really beautiful. And then I will have to say the eyeshadow base, and this isn't because of the primer aspect, it's actually the color aspect. I wish this came in like a brighter shade, and as far as I'm aware it only comes in 1 shade. I'm assuming this only comes in this shade, but if it came in a lighter shade I'd definitely give it more of a go. I think I'm gonna say the like contour palettes, and that's only because I wish they did these in individuals rather than in a palette, because I don't know about you guys, I generally don't use all of these shades. I have like 1 or 2 favorites and I just use them, and the others go to waste. That I believe is the end of everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will leave links to all of the products that I have used in the description box, so please don't forget to check that out. Please do leave a comment below of your favorite NYX products, because I want to start a 2-way conversation. I want to see what you guys are loving, because I had a lot of fun reading your comments from the Charlotte Tilbury video. So yeah, I think that is everything from me. If I have missed anything in this video, it will be in the info box below. But for now, that is all, and I guess I will hopefully see you guys all in my next video. Bye!